first time we saw Dead Island 2 was back in 2013. It took 10 years since Dead Island 2 was released, but finally we can enjoy another zombie game. If you suffer from low FPS, then we've got you covered. Step 1 is in-game graphics settings. On RX 570 at 1080p Ultra preset, it gave 44 FPS. To boost the FPS, you can go to the graphic options and lower the graphics settings. To make things easier, you can copy my settings. The only option you need to set it to high is anti-aliasing. I will tell you more about it later in the video. The FPS increased from 44 to 72, 63% FPS boost. If you need more FPS, I've got some other ideas for you. To run Dead Island 2, you need a GPU that supports DX12. If your GPU doesn't support DX12, you need to fall back to DX11. But how you can enable DX11? First, you need to go to the game config file. This is where the game config file is located. Now open the engine file with Notepad and go to the last line and add this command. This command will enable DX11. Please pay attention to uppercase and lowercase letters. At the end, remember the saved file. Now let's go back to the game and see what happened. To make sure that you have enabled DX11, you can use MSI Afterburner. As you can see, the software showed DX11. Now let's measure the gap between DX11 and DX12. DX11 is only 2% faster than DX12. Remember, you don't change the API to increase the frame rate. In fact, you change the API to make this game run on all GPUs. If your GPU supports DX12, you don't need to change the API. And now, if you need more FPS, let's go to the last step. In this step, I will show you some commands to massively boost the FPS. First, you need to go to the game config file one more time. Now open the engine file with Notepad and go to the last line and type system settings. And under system settings, type the upcoming commands. These commands will grant you massive FPS boost. Remember the saved file at the end. Now let's get to the command. With this command, you can change the rendering resolution and experience massive FPS boost. You can choose any value between 100 and 0, but I highly recommend you don't go below 33%. Any value lower than 33% will destroy image quality. About performance uplift, going from 100% to 33% will grant you 104% FPS boost. That amount of FPS boost is truly high. To have acceptable image quality, you need to set anti-aliasing option to high. Now you understand why I didn't lower the anti-aliasing option at step 1. And with this command you can disable fog. It will grant you 10% FPS boost. And with this command you can disable ambient occlusion with 8% FPS boost. With this one you can disable reflections with 3% FPS boost. last one is view distance. With this one you can reduce view distance and improve the FPS up to 5%. And now let's compare the in-game's low settings with the step 3 custom settings. Going from low to custom settings, you gain massive 263% FPS boost. I think that amount of FPS boost is enough for everyone. The interesting thing about this game is that more than GPU, this game is really heavy on CPU. You really need to have a capable CPU to reach 60 FPS. To calculate FPS boost, I had to avoid open areas. So keep in mind after using these solutions, if you are still low on FPS, it's time to upgrade your CPU. And now we reach the end of this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel for more content in the future. Till next video, peace out.
She always likes surprises.